Welcome, HOTS fans of all ages and all kinds. We are here to cast the Division B East NGS Season 19 series between Frank's Furters and Heavy Greg. Uh, because there isn't a draft phase for a replay cast, we will be instead going over drafts quickly when we first get into game, introducing the teams, and then launching into the game. So far, these teams have banned from Frank's Furters, Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow were banned, and for Heavy Greg, Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity were banned. So the map we will start on with those maps banned out is Garden of Terror. Garden of Terror has 3 areas to cap. It has lots of bushes. It's a very strong map for an offlaner like Dahaka. It's got a fair number of choke points, so heroes that can control that, like Junkrat or Stukov, also very, very strong. And once you collect your 3 little vegetable friends, once you go gardening for a little bit 3 times and capture the seed, you get big plants that push down the lane. They have bulbs that can turn off buildings from firing, but you can destroy those bulbs and allow your buildings to defend. So that is where we are going. I don't know, of course, which team picked which map and who got first pick, but we're just going to have to see who wins it instead. Let's launch into game number 1 between Frank's Furters and Heavy Greg. So, on the blue side, we have Anubrak, Ariel, Malthael, Diva, and Raynor. So we have a triple frontliner comp with Malthael and Diva both able to push out lanes on their own. Diva very effective at being able to kind of burst in and cause disruptions and delays, and that can give both Malthael and Raynor a little more space, especially with the CC from Anubrak to push and aggress. If Raynor takes Banshee Escort instead of Hyperion, he can also be very annoying to people trying to capture the point. So this is a team comp that wants to disrupt and delay until they can set up the fight that they want. Raynor works fine as a hyper carry. Diva's ult can be extraordinarily disruptive with the bunny hop, and her ability to reduce the damage of the enemy team can be very effective on characters like Hammer who don't move, and when they do, they don't move very much or very fast. Ariel, one of the best healers for throughput in the game right now. And a noob just very good at getting fights we want them to. Some of the strongest AoE CC on low-ish cooldowns. So overall, I think this is a fairly strong draft, and it works well for this map. Seeing it's got 3 fairly widespread lanes, having Malthael in one lane, Diva in another, then the other 3 can take mid lane, capture camps, do what they need to do. Fairly strong draft. On the red side, we've got Blaze, Johanna, Stukov, Hammer, and Hogger. A lot of wall segments and bushes, like we said, on this map. So Sergeant Hammer can be fairly strong and fairly safe playing on this map, but she can also get caught in choke points. So it really has to do with how well you protect her. Although Stukov's ability to put down purple octopus puddles and silence his opponents can make approaching a hammer difficult, especially for a triple melee comp and Raynor not having the longest range. Johanna and Blaze do provide a good amount of peel and decent engage depending which way they use their abilities. And if necessary, if they're finding the hammers getting CC'd, Johanna can even go Falling Sword to give those seconds of unstoppable to her teammates. Hogger and Blaze, so this is another triple frontline comp. Hogger and Blaze also, but they probably got the 2 strongest offlaners in the game. Both good at taking camps, both good at clearing waves, both good at getting fights started. So this is basically a Raynor hypercarry comp versus a Hammer hypercarry comp, which on its face can definitely, from range, would favor the Hammer comp, but that's not necessarily the case depending on how well the blue team can use its skills to get in on the Hammer. So this will really be, as all games are, very much a skill matchup. So let's get this game started and introduce our 2 teams. In the blue trunks, representing Frank's Furters, everyone's favorite hot dog restaurant, We've got Dallying Pig on the Anubrak, Indecisive on Ariel, Magic Master on the Malthael, DJ Coldcuts on Diva, and Raynor being played by Boggs. On the far side, we've got Heavy Greg, Chim Chim 19 playing Blaze, Corrosive on Johanna, Randy Newman on Stukov, while Randy Newman is on Sergeant Hammer, and Synthesis playing the Hogger. Looking at level 1 talents, we've got the usual start for Blaze. We do have the reactive ballista spores on the Stukov, so not low blow. Dynamite build for Hogger, so again, a more damage-oriented build than his standard build. We've got the cooldown on the Ariel whips. We've got On a Pale Horse, so faster rotates for our Malthael. Spell Armor for Anubrak. We've got increased health and more damage for the Diva. And we've got Exterminator. So better camp clear on this Raynor. And on the far side, we're going to have Flashlight build for the Johanna. And as per usual, Advanced Artillery for the Hammer. So those are our teams. Right now, Malthael is alone in the bot lane against Hogger and Hammer. Although he can soak health from the wave fairly quickly. The rest of the team looks like they're wanting to come down to engage. They are going to get the Hogger, but they're not able to get the Hammer. But they got what they wanted. A quick gank, a quick kill, and a... not an experienced lead, actually. They are a little bit behind on experience. Diva is dueling Blaze in the top lane, trying to slow his clear. And the wave here will be captured by Anubrak, while Malthael takes the camp, and Raynor pressures Hammer in the bottom. Hammer will get much stronger when she hits level 7 and can use hover movement. She's going to use her Spider-Mans to see this. She'll start this camp, and then Hogger will tank the attacks. Stukov is using his big auto attacks to take this top camp here as Johanna stays safe, just kind of having a wet noodle fight with Anubrak here. So we have basically double sets of offlaners just doing offlaner things. Malthael putting pressure on the Hammer, but she's not particularly worried. She does end up winning out on this trade. Although, with a camp pushing with him, this could give Malthael more push pressure. As he throws shade, literally. We got Bed of Barbs, we've got Repeated Offense, so the Empowered Whip. This can be a surprising amount of damage when you hit a wall. Like shockingly, like, oh, I just got whipped by Ariel. Oh, I'm dead. What the heck? We've got Black Harvest, so we've got the Reaper's Mark stack for increased duration, which it can be very good into this tanky of a front line from the members of Heavy Greg. Nuclear option. So, camps are continuing to be taken. The Bruiser camp is in the top. That's one thing Diva is not particularly strong at, is clearing camps. This is going to take a while as Blaze clears that camp. They are looking to see if they can put some pressure on... it just misses. Diva is pushed out of her mech, and she has to be careful now because she is very weak early on. And she does not have the ability to recast her mech in the moment, so her gate is going to take a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, it's a 4v4 in the bot lane. Dallying Pig is taking a lot of damage. Ariel puts some healing on him, but it's just not enough. The Hammer here, again, safely behind the wall, is chunking out the members of Frank's Furters. Randy Newman, on the other hand, the Stukov taking a lot of damage, and he's ticking down. He's going to have to get himself some heals, but no, he dies. Magic Master came in to confirm it, but he might go down to these Spider Mines. Oh, the knockback. 30 health on Magic Master. Synthesis is going to try and use his E to finish off the Malthael. Will he be able to? Oh, but he sucks health from Synthesis. Are they going to turn this around? Yes, Synthesis goes down, and the auto attack from Johanna, not enough. Magic Master getting the kill there. So the seed does go over to Heavy Greg, but the kills advantage, it ends up being a 2-for-2 at the end of the day, so it ends up being even. But some really good play by Malthael there, getting his trait and then soaking just enough health out of the Hogger to stay alive despite that attempt. And Boggs using his Q very well to make sure his teammate stays alive. We do now have hover mode for Hammer, which is going to make her quite a bit stronger. Not insanely strong, but quite a bit stronger now that she does have some level of mobility. There are no camps up on the map at this time. The seed will be up in 19 seconds. Indecisive whips Randy Newman back here in his tank. This is kind of a cool skin, the car from the like the mobster car with the mobster outfit. Kind of a neat outfit there. Anyway, they put some pressure on Boggs, but Indecisive can clear that off fairly easily. And that's what the Ballista Swords get you an incredibly huge slow onto Indecisive there. They're actually ganking down on this bottom side, putting pressure onto the members. And the members of Frank's Furters are very low. Dallying Pig is now stuck in there, taking a lot of damage. But the heals from Ariel does give the entire team an AoE boost. Blaze had come down to help that, but they ended up giving away the top seed for free to the D.Va. So they're now tied 1-1 as their siege camps have respawned basically the entire map over. Not this one, but 13 seconds. So Blaze and D.Va are now on double soak duty, it looks like, as Malthael goes to capture the first siege camp on their side of the map. And it looks like Hogger is going to bounce back to take that siege camp while Stukov supports him. The turtle mines, no, the vulture mines are they're little stacks of TNT, which is also very old-fashioned and funny. This is a neat skin idea. Back when Blizzard was doing fun things with this game. Top camps will also be collected by both teams. So again, this game is very even. They're both hitting 10 right now. We see Blessed Shield from Johanna, so no Falling Sword for the CC. Hammer has been fine. We do have the Hortapult, the Bunker, the BFG, so not Napalm Strike, looking for that big burst in team fights for the Hammer. We've yet to see Stukov's ultimate, although they both serve a similar purpose. We do see the Flailing Swipe, which is good against things like D.Va, getting that multiple pushes back. Dallian comes in and does put some CO to Randy Newman. The Cocoon does come out on the Hammer. Here comes the Bunny Hop, and stepping out of that, jet propulsioning out of that, is the Blaze. A lot of damage on the Johanna now. She's getting very low. DJ Coldcuts does get W'd back. The last rights goes off and kills Stukov, while Johanna goes down from being chased also. And this is a 2-0 team fight. Big win for the members of Frank's Furters, and they are going to collect their second seed here. That team fight got quite split between this choke point and this choke point, and I think that Johanna ended up trying to peel really hard and ended up just getting killed over here, while the tank got pushed back and wasn't able to do as much as I think they would have liked. She will get more powerful as the game goes on, but at the moment she's not quite ready for the feature hyper carry role. On the other side, we're going to see Resurrection instead of Crystal Aegis, so looking to just bring a teammate back into the fight altogether. We've got Cocoon, Last Rites, Bunny Hop, and it is the Hyperion, so he will not be using Rainer's Raider to help deny these seeds. They want to go in hard for the fight and set it up on their terms, which Hyperion really does allow you to do. It starts just putting out a blanket of damage on the opposing team, and it's basically like covering fire. It's going to make life more difficult. They do clear out this bruiser camp in the bot lane. Both teams are rotating towards the seed now. Heavy Greg is not going to want to let Frankfurters have this for free because that is a strong pushing presence. They're jumping on Chim Chim. He's taking a lot of damage now. He's getting down to half health. Here comes the stop, the Bunny Hop, but the Unstoppable is popped by John. Here comes Blunt Force gone and makes Malthael very, very low. He's at 160 hit points. And that's without popping a bunch of ults. Well, they did pop a couple of ults, but they're not able to kill the members. So the second seed for the Heavy Greg is going to be captured now. And it's going to be 2-2. The next seed is going to be of utmost importance to both teams. They're both going to have to try to set themselves up, set up their map pressure, set up their macro to collect this. And so far, these teams have been fairly even. Now, the kills are in favor of Frank's Furters, but it certainly hasn't given them control of this game by any stretch. Both teams still very strong and know what they want to get done. Hammer is alone protecting the top as she supports her team here. Hogger looking to see if he wants to invade here. There are 4 members of Heavy Greg in the bot lane. 13s do come out for Frank's Furters, but once they capture this camp and get a little bit of their waves even, yes, 13 has come in also for the members of Heavy Greg. So, for the moment, the positioning advantage does go to the members of Heavy Greg. They do find and blind Johanna in that bush, and they are setting up to have advantage. Magic Master checks this bush with his wave. Chim Chim stuns the Malthael, and here comes the Sun from Dowling Pig. The Coon goes down on Hammers, the damage much lower. Here comes the Bunny Hop, which does stun members. Here comes the Burrow Charge in from Dowling Pig. The Blessed Shield does come out. DJ Coldcut's taking a ton of damage, but does get healed and manages not to go down. No one has died yet. And yeah, DJ Kogo pushing the Stukov back, and they're trying to put pressure on the tank, but she's staying very healthy here. Indecisive, healing up Boggs as DJ Coldcuts has to back up with only 30 health, down to 1 and has to jump out. A ton of damage, a great silence puddle there from the Stukov, which ends up getting Oriole killed. And now D.Va is out of her mech and totally vulnerable, blown up as well. That is a 2 for nothing from the members of Heavy Greg. They will collect this, and they will get their seeds pushing, or their garden terrors pushing in all 3 lanes. And they've managed to keep wave prio well enough that outside of the top lane, these 2 are already pushing keeps or forts immediately. They are going to chase in deeper on Dallying Pig and Boggs, who do have to back off since their team members are just resurrecting now. They will give up the bottom fort completely. Magic Master will put damage on the one in the mid lane, so it's not going to get a lot of damage on the fort, but it will put damage there. In the top lane, Blaze is uncontested at the moment, so this fort's already down to half health. Boggs is alone. He's not going to be able to stop this. They're going to lose 2 forts for this. And in the bot lane, they're looking to get the gate. And Hammer is starting to come online now. And those bombs from Hogger are no joke either. And a very patient team comp, some very patient play from the members. And here comes the bunny hop, trying to stun the Hammer. They do manage to stun Hammer, and they stun Stukov. Stukov is going to die. DJ Coldcuts still looking to chase here. Magic Master trying to get his trade on people, but not able to. So they have to stop the chase here. But they do get the Stukov kill. In the top lane, though, they've lost their keep gate because all 5 went on that chase, and they're going to take damage on their top keep. Now, this isn't necessarily a big loss and a big fallback where they are behind a level, but if they get the next seed, they can do the exact same thing to their opponents. So they just need to get their waves in good position, be patient and not stagger deaths, and they can return the favor with their own Garden Terrors. Both teams looking at their camps. Again, we were seeing blue team go quickly into their 16s, so we do have thermal protection, shrinking vacuum, super strain, and it's important to note Hammer got regenerative biosteel for healing as opposed to the unstoppable at 4. So that is on Stukov and the other members of her team to protect her because she can be crowd controlled. On the other side, we do see the Epic enter. The Will of Heavens, the attack speed buff on the Rainer from the Ariel. Memento Mori doing more damage after as this continues to stack up. The emergency shielding and rallying cry. So Blaze is going to clear this camp in the bot lane pretty simply too. Blaze just excellent at whatever you might want him to do in the off lane. Just a great off laner. I say definitely not biased as an off laner myself. As D.Va clears this top lane camp, again, she's very capable, but she's not the fastest at it. It definitely takes her some time to finish these off. And we're seeing more D.Va play recently. I don't know if that's something in the meta or just in NGS where we're seeing that D.Va in certain circumstances is finding more value. So the next seed is about to sprout, as we've just been told by Garden Mommy. And the blue team is going to want to get this. They're going to want to make sure this game doesn't slow. Now they're going to jump immediately on the 3 members up here. The flailing swipe comes out, but Chim Chim is still in trouble. Here comes the unstoppable bunny hop, and Chim Chim is stunned. He's not even going to be able to get his bunker. Oh, he does! Just in time, but he's at almost no health. 500 health, he goes down, and even with the puddle there, they cannot save Blaze. The red team is still considering trying to find a way to delay this capture until they have their teammate back. That's a fair amount of damage. But Rallying Pig is going to jump on the Hogger. He does spin out. And again, he's going to look at him. Magic Master is capturing. The flashlight from Johanna prevents that capture. Synthesis is still looking, throws out those bombs, and they do stop Magic Master. They're going to chase down this Hogger, but he gets away again. He's very strong at this. And while this is happening, a siege camp is putting damage on the bottom keep. The longer they stall this, the better advantage they have. Blaze will be back in 10 seconds. There is the capture, however, for Frank's Furters. And in 2 lanes, it's going to help them, but in this bot lane, it's not going to get really any value for them. It's not going to even get to this fort, if I had to guess. As I do believe these take damage as they travel and as they cast their spells. So there's no assistance for the top one. It will go down fairly quickly to Stukov and Hammer. But in the mid lane, this fort is certainly going down. Out comes the D.Va explosion, and this still has 2/3 of its health, this Garden Terror. So it's a 5 versus 3 here as Hogger's backed up. Hammer is alone. She clears out that top lane. She will rotate. The Silence and Root come out onto Dallying Pig, but there's not a ton of follow-up damage. The Hyperion is coming out as an assist here. They are trying to get, at the very least, the gate. Will they continue to push onto this keep itself? There's a lot of damage onto Chim Chim as he's taking damage again. The bunker comes out, giving him a lot more opportunity to stay alive, and the Bunny Hop is ineffective against the Iron Skin of Corrosive. Frank's Furters will back off after getting the keep gate here. And I was wrong. This does push all the way to the fort here, and they're going to try and take this fort as well, which will make them essentially even on buildings. Boggs firing away. Now the seed does come out and does allow them to take this. Dowling Pig comes over the wall, and it is a 5-on-5 with a 10% health Garden Terror as they look to see if they can get a little more value on this gate. I would suspect they can. I was going to say, now is about the time you should start backing up, and they do. Man, they screech like Zerglings dying when the Garden Terrors go down. I didn't know plants felt so sad about, you know, no longer being around. So both teams are essentially even in experience. Both teams will be 20 probably before the next seed comes out. So the blue team will back off. Boggs starting on his siege camp immediately. Malthael looking to perhaps capture this in the top, but no, he's warned away from it. As the red team rotates, that's a wise move. Losing a member before you hit 20 is it's just a risky choice at this point. So he is going to go. Now on a Pale Horse, that movement speed is incredible. He is going to take this, and then I imagine he'll be tasked with taking this top camp as the members of Heavy Greg take their siege camp, or their bruiser camp to go with their siege camp. So, camps pushing all over the map. Corrosive is in the middle, taking down the blue siege camp. And the blue team has gathered as 5 to make sure that if an invade happens, they win. Fighting's coming in from both sides. We've got the burn notice for Blaze, making his auto attacks more powerful. The upgraded falling shield, radiating faith from Johanna. The jump is onto Synthesis here. They're looking to get an outnumber situation, but he uses the E, hits a wall, and manages to reset the duration to get himself fully out. We've got the top off from Stukov. We have the incredibly powerful ultra capacitors for Hammer, which makes her incredibly powerful at 20. The longer a fight goes, the more scary this character gets. We got the Hortipult upgrade secret stash for Hogger. On the other side, we got the upgraded cocoon, which send the duration by up to 6 seconds per cocoon. We've got the resurrection ultimate, which I believe gives more armor. Resurrection 200 movement speed. Okay, so it's movement speed, not armor. Here comes a huge stun, and Ariel goes down immediately. There's a resurrection coming out on the Ariel, but we also lose the Anubrak and a ton of damage. D.Va is out of her mech. So a great engage there. We've got No One Can Stop Death from Malthael, Ablative Armor from D.Va, and Sergeant Pepper from Raynor. So both teams are at 0 seeds. The seed is not crucial by any stretch. But that engage with the Silence and the Blessed Shield, just incredible. And it deletes 2 members immediately. And that is, it's not going to be a game-ending warning, but that's a warning to the members of Frank's Furters. You have to be careful. You have to be paying attention all times. You can't be moving while looking at the minimap. You have to be looking at every bush. You can never face check, because this team can blow up even your tank in an instant. Malthael is looking for possibly the flank here, but he's going to have to go up and answer Blaze's push in the top lane. Both teams disengage. And again, both teams very aware. A lost team fight when you lose all 5 is game ending at this point. The blue team can just break down mid and end on core. And honestly, the red team can choose top or bottom to finish a keep and end up on core. So D.Va's rotating up. They're looking to find a way to capture this seed. Dallying Pig looking to come in. Fires off a Q, but hasn't yet engaged with the cocoon. Hyperion is coming out. It's going to lay that early damage. The whip into the wall is good on Hogger. The unstoppable in the backline from our D.Va. There's the jump in on the tank. There's tons of damage. They're having to reposition. Bunker does come out to try and help. There's the silence onto the Malthael. He's getting extremely low. Another great whip there by Indecisive. Malthael still low. Hammer is killed. The flailing swipe comes out. It looks like Magic Master might go down still. He does to the E from Hogger. It's a 4v4 fight now, but Corrosive has been pushed out. Chim Chim taking all sorts of damage here, as that was collected by the blue team in the meantime. Chim Chim's super low, and his bunker's already been used. DJ Cold Cuts has already used the explosive, so now Malthael comes back. He's used No One Can Stop Death, so now they have a huge outnumber situation. Sugov is dead, and Johanna taking a ton of damage here. She's going to go down as well. Chim Chim getting blown up here. Oh, at the very end of that Q from a Nubrak catches him, and he dies also. That's a 4 for 1, but with Malthael using No One Can Kill Death, No One Can Stop Death, No One Can Stop Death, it's just over. It's a 5 for nothing. And that's what these two characters' abilities can do. With No One Can Stop Death and Resurrection, you can turn a 3 for 5 into a 0 for 5, or a 2 for 5 into a 0 for 5. And Synthesis is going to go down as well. They staggered that death. Hammer's back in 10 seconds. But they're going to be able to gather the seed for free. And there's still, after Hammer, 25 seconds before anyone else is up. So they're going to push this middle keep, while Raynor is sent to take the seed, and D.Va takes the top camp. Malthael will steal this away. Let's go for more. Heck yeah, for real. So they didn't prioritize as highly as they might, but they did use their resources wisely. They're getting pressure all over the map. They're stealing camps away. They did get the keep here. They will take the bottom one as well. Now, if they don't send someone here, though, this catapult will kill this keep. There's just no two ways about it. And D.Va's not on her way there, so they do seem to have possibly missed this, or they're just willing to give it up. They're rotating towards the bruiser camp of Heavy Greg. And they're still without Hogger for 8 more seconds. That stagger has really given just full map control for a very long period of time to Frank's Furters. This has been an incredibly even game, but right now Frank's Furters are in the lead, as Heavy Greg needs to wait until everyone is back up. Now Hogger's back out on the map. Now both teams are ready to play this 5v5. The last fort on the red side does go down. Red side looking to invade. They are on this camp, and if Malthael isn't careful, he could get ganked as well here. Blue team seems to be aware that their opponents could be anywhere. Magic Master may have seen some of them there. Now there are two camps pushing hard on the top, which is going to give priority to the seed and positioning for the seed to the members of Frank's Furters. Even though there's a camp pushing in the bottom, this team needs to deal with this or they'll lose a keep, and this is splitting them up. Malthael putting pressure on this Synthesis down here. He has to use his E to get away, but Malthael will continue to chase. He's going to pop the last rights, but the healing is just enough. He stays alive. They're letting these camp push onto their keep. They don't want to give up seed number 3. The push is on Chim Chim. Now he's starting to get melted by the Malthael trait. Corrosive Blind, but Boggs is capturing this point. Here comes the BFG out and outputs a lot of damage. Here comes the improved shield. It's going to do a ton of work. The silence comes out. Malthael is at 40 hit points. They capture the seed, and Malthael is just alive. But still alive. And there is camps on the core here. Synthesis has backed off. They are up a kill, but the resurrection will come through. That kill doesn't count. It doesn't matter for the red team. It is a 5 for 5 as Garden Terrors are coming in on every lane except bottom, because the catapults did in fact get that. So we're seeing the end of the game. Red team desperate to defend here. Magic Master is very low. He's going to try and use his trait to get some health back. D.Va is pushed back. She's firing away. She takes a ton of damage. And there goes Malthael, and he cannot use No One Can Stop Death. He uses a longer death. D.Va does go down and is dead. Boggs backing out. So this defense this time is successful. The root happens from the Stukov. He's doing a great job with his abilities here. Anubrak just draws them away from his team as he dies also. That is 2 deaths for none, as the red team aggressively defends their core and is successful at doing so. There is one remaining Garden Terror, but it is not going to be threatening anything as the members of Heavy Greg come in and blow it away. And now our red team is looking... Oh, we're looking at a base race here, folks. We're looking at, the blue team was considering going straight for the core, but they saw the red team bottom. So they have returned to their base. They don't want to risk racing against a hammer. They will lose their mid fort here. But in 10 seconds, Diva will be back, and in about 15 seconds, a Nubrak will be back. This game has been so even, so back and forth. The next fight could end this game. Easily, the next fight could end this game. In 5 seconds, a Nubrak will be back. So this time now, it is Heavy Greg going around stealing the camps from their opponents, not allowing them to be taken by Frank's Furters. Now, Johanna is fairly alone here. She's going to have to be careful. Her team can rotate quickly to her, but both sides now high enough level they can blow people up quickly. Longer fights are going to be to the advantage, I believe, of our blue team. But, I mean, the red team, the longer it goes, also the stronger hammer gets. So really both teams have strong compositions for these drawn-out fights. And it really comes down to who gets split off, who is a little less coordinated, who makes the first mistake in these combats. Or it even can be, you get this long in a game, you start to get anxious. You want to fight. You want the game that, you want to win a fight. You want the game to end. You want to engage. It can lead to over-aggressive plays. It can lead to mistakes. So both teams really having to hold on to their patience, having to stay calm and keep their cooldowns for the right moments. The camp is coming here. It is a 5v5. Everyone is coming in hard. The Hyperion is popped. The camp is stolen, but that's not what matters now. The Bunny Hop does come out with the Hyperion, but it looks like they're just going to disengage. The Hortipult pops out. The red team is not willing to give this up. Here comes the Blessed Shield, and the BFG comes through, and Malthael is dead, although he can, I believe, use No One Can Stop Death. But no, he gets resurrected instead. The Cocoon is out on Stukov. Up in the top, we see blue teams fighting. Chim Chim is down here fighting Boggs and Dowling Pig, but he's alone. Up here, Malthael was alone, and he gets killed for the second time after being resurrected. In the bot, the bunker comes out for Blaze, and now Boggs and Dowling Pig are in trouble. They're getting jumped on. That is the end from a beetle, I believe, for Chim Chim, but Dallying Pig now goes down. Out comes the explosive mech for DJ Cold Cuts. Boggs is alone and gets killed as well. This is a 1 for 3, but really a 1 for 4, because Malthael has been resurrected once already. His No One Can Stop Death does come off cooldown, so he pops it and comes in immediately. He's going to try and help them defend their core, but they haven't got anything to handle the hammer at this point. They're really struggling. Without a Nubrak to get control of that hammer, they're really struggling, and their core is taking damage. The jump in from Malthael attempting to distract them. The Blessed Shield isn't up for another 50 seconds, so they're fairly safe. Out comes the Bunny Hop. It stuns 3 members. Hammer's getting very low. Great whip by Ariel. They're going to heal. They blow them up, and neither team has been able to take the core. Stukov goes down. He gets blown up. Hogger jumps away, but Corrosive's Iron Skin is down. But they surprise Hogger. They change direction. He uses Hortipult. He barely survives. He's trying to walk away, but Magic Master is not going to let this happen, and he's got the speed from the Pale Horse. But the stuns from Hogger do finally dissuade Magic Master from following up on that, and we are now at 27 minutes into this game. Both teams have attempted to finish on core, and both teams have been murdered for that attempt. They jumped on core, got a little aggressive, and were killed and pushed back. So now the numbers advantage is on the side of Frank's Furters. Who's going to win the fight that ends the game, as opposed to over-aggressing on the core and being pushed back? There is an attempted evade on the Bruiser camp, but they're just a moment too late, and Corrosive and Chim Chim back out safely. Hammer will be up in 6, and Stukov will be up in 10. Free Cyanide, what's up, my buddy? So, take a deep breath. I'm going to, because the next team fight is going to be crazy. Each of these teams are fighting with everything they've got. Magic Masters, No One Can Stop Death, will be on cooldown again, but Resurrection is up. Both teams have both ults fully at their disposal, and it's going to be whoever uses their buttons best in this next fight will win this game. The death timers are over 70 seconds at this point. And I think they're around 90 for the No One Can Stop Death Malthael. So they do go for the seed, but they're going to take some damage from these little minions who do hit fairly hard for what they do. Boggs is attempting to capture, but I think he's just attempting to bait here. Not having one person doing damage in these fights, they're just baiting red team. They want them to get closer. They want Dalian Pig to hit a big AoE attack. So Cold Cuts is going to go in first. He uses the stomp. Bunny Hop comes in, followed by the mech explosion. They don't manage to do enough damage. The whip back on Chim Chim knocks him back. Boggs is capping. They're attempting to control. Dalian Pig is on the Stukov, not allowing him to heal. But he's taking a ton of damage from this hammer. Hyperion is out. Coon does end up on Stukov, but this fight is starting to go in the direction. The Malthael damage is getting huge, but he goes down as well. He's getting resurrected, but there goes Oriel. The seed goes over, but I think Bog might have made the wrong call here. Not helping his team is the hyper carry. They're losing this fight, and they're losing it hard. Everyone has gone down, except for DJ Coldcuts and the Rainer. They're going to have to defend with 2 members. This game should be casted by Muradin. Let's advance in the other direction. This has been a crazy game. But there are Winions on the core, and Rainer is going to try and finish it himself while Malthael defends. His No One Can Stop Death must have come off cooldown again as he comes back up. DJ Coldcuts and Magic Master are going to try to cause enough of a ruckus. And Rainer finishes it! Rainer finishes the core with the Winions. Game 1 in incredible fashion goes to the members of Frank's Furters. A 28-minute game goes to Frank's Furters. Oh, I can hardly breathe. What an incredible Game 1. I think I was told that Game 1 was a map for the ages, and I cannot disagree. An amazing game. Malthael doing insane damage here. Almost keeping up. I mean, doing more than Hawker, keeping up with Hammer just about. Out-damaging Boggs. And, you know, I said his final decision was the wrong one to take the seed, but then he made up for that by walking directly towards his enemy's core and going, I can kill this. I am Rainer. And he also took the 20. He didn't take the 20 that gave him a shorter death timer. He took giving him some pepper, activating every 3 basic attacks, making his autos a ton more powerful with Rallying Cry, with Give Me More, with Fight or Flight. Just being a really strong auto attacker. And so he manages to walk in. There were 3 catapults on the core. He finishes off the core while his Malthael and Diva delayed the hammer. Just incredible play. So if you want to check out the talents, they look fairly standard as far as I'm aware, although who knows what normal is for Diva. And you can see their numbers on this screen. An incredible game. Let us all hope the series goes 3, because goodness gracious, Game 1 was absolutely just a stunning game. On fire. So, let me figure out how my buttons work, because I'm a very smart man, as a matter of fact. James Laner. He is, in fact, James Laner. And he lanes to his heart's content. So we're going to have a look at where Game 2 will be played. It is on Tomb of El Spidro Queen. So as I get this ready, we can talk a little bit about the Tomb of the Spider Queen. So Game 1 went to Frankfurt. Tomb of the Spider Queen is a game with some very close lanes. Rotating is very fast. Medivh can be really strong on this map, and Nubrak can be really strong on this map. You don't need a double soaker nearly as much on this map as some other maps. It's not a bad thing to have a good laner, but it's really powerful to have people who can gank quickly, who can kill quickly, because the lanes are so close together. There's one boss on this map, it is neutral. There's one siege camp on this map, it is also neutral, and then each team has its own mid-lane bruiser camp. So, as we look at getting into game number 2, we'll do a quick coverage of the drafts for each side, and then we'll jump into the game. So, if you'd like to join me, let's get into game here. So, in game number 2, between Frank's Furters and Heavy Greg, Frank's Furters are up 1-0, so Heavy Greg is going to be looking for the counterpunch. The blue team has drafted Johanna, Raynor, and I mean, why would you not pick Raynor? Whitemane, Blaze, and Rexer. So once again, they've gone for the triple frontline. Johanna with incredible strength, engage, and incredible peel, depending on what you want to use her for. Still one of the premier tanks right now. Boggs' Raynor speaks for itself, and the Whitemane, when played well, and again at this level, you have to assume they're playing every character well, can actually prevent people from dying. She can just keep people healthy despite everything if she's not pressured appropriately. And then Blaze and Rex are both really, really strong. Rexar, I think, is underplayed on this map. Being able to use Misha, because the lanes are so close together, you can kind of be turning in and having Misha either soak a wave or kind of go and like scout bushes, provide a little bit of pressure for your teammates. Like if you're turning in bottom and you've got Misha in that mid-bottom bush or mid-bottom steam vent, and then you're kind of sending Misha to distract or slow down rotations for the enemy team. Rexar can be really strong here. And again, Blaze, just an incredibly strong offlaner, and that bunker gives Whitemane and Raider an opportunity to not get jumped on. On the far side, we have Anubarak, Lucio, Gazlo, Genji, and Junkrat. We've also had, I see here, we've had a, what's the word I'm looking for? A sub. Composite Santa wasn't in the last one. They are in this game. This is an interesting comp. You rarely see Gazlo, but he can be a strong offlaner. He can be annoying for melee-based offlaners, although Blaze is kind of a mix. Hey, Corrosive. Oh, I always enjoy doing casting, man. So this is a bit of a pocket pick, I have to assume. It can be annoying for Blaze. But as long as he kind of sticks to soaking the wave and not worrying too much about dueling, Gazlo can be fine. He's decent at stopping people from turning in, and both of his ults are functional. Robo Gobbo makes him quite an effective duelist, whereas you can really wombo with his other ultimate. Genji and Junkrat give you lots of opportunities for delay, but they also give you opportunities to jump on people if they're taken out of position, although again the Blaze Bunker can mitigate that somewhat. And Lucio and Anubarak are really great, although so is Genji, at the fast gank, the fast rotate. So these are kind of two different styles. This is very much a control style from what I'm seeing. They want to control all the lanes, control all the maps, and make it hard to rotate. This is a team that wants to find kills, get that kill, and cause this team to lose some of its control and then overcommit to trying to get it back, where they can either get kills or rotate where they want. So this team is going to try to take this team's control away if the comp is played correctly. Without further ado, let's get into this game. Let's introduce our teams and see if we're headed to a game 3. So, on the blue side, representing Frank's Furters. Yeah, we're not sponsored by Frank's Furters, by the way. I eat ordinary hot dogs, thank you very much. We got Dallying Pig playing Johanna, Boggs on Raynor, Indecisive playing Whitemane, Magic Master on Blaze, and DJ Cold Cuts on Rexar. And just some great account names over here. On the red side, representing Heavy Greg. And I don't know if that just means he's dense or he needs to go on a diet, but we've got Corrosive on Anubarak, Randy Newman on Lucio, Composite Santa playing Gazlo, Synthesis on Genji, and Randy Newman playing the Junkrat. So, with the buff to Laws of Hope, we are seeing more people taking it as opposed to the Flashlight build. And it does give a good chunk of recovery to Johanna. Both teams looking to see if they can catch the other team in a mistake here in the early game, but we're not seeing mistakes happen as of yet. So there will be a rotate. Now, blue team rotates early, so red team looks to take advantage of that. But again, Whitemane is a high skill ceiling character, but she can really do work. They're pushing on Dallying Pig and Boggs, but nothing to be garnered yet. We see the ace in the hole this time for the Raynor, which is very strong with the triple frontline, as all of them bring some form of crowd control. We have the Pity the Frail from Indecisive. We've got New Habit, so a more tanky Blaze build as opposed to the Adrenaline Stim Pack, which is used when he's just trying to clear waves and clear camps. And of course we see Bird of Prey to make laning easier for our friend Rexar and his bear buddy, Misha. Magic Master taking quite a bit of damage. He's down to about half, but he trusts Indecisive, so he's not afraid to get back. Gazlowe has killed Misha, though, and Rexar mourns in his deep blue outfit here. He'd change it to black if he could. So horrible to see a bear die. Nobody called PETA. But otherwise, the huge health pools on this side are preventing the red team from getting anything decisive, but they are being very annoying on the rotates, which, again, is what they want to do. They want to prevent... But the Raynor gank on the bot lane does lead to the death of Gazlowe. Genji, out of spite, kills Misha, and once again, Rexar mourns. Seeing lots of brawling up here in the top lane, but again, with between lots of sustain heals, now Genji jumps in, is looking to frustrate Indecisive, wants to make it hard for her to heal while she's dealing with him, but Dallying Pig will show up and go, get your hands off my white mane. That crazy cackling is for me only, thank you very much. Magic Master with the stun. And again, lots of brawling, but not a lot of opportunities to pile on damage that sticks. On the other side, we see Beetle build, Accelerando, or Accelerando if you're going with the Italian, Rocket Boots. So the stun build Gazlowe, which is very, very popular. It gets extremely strong at 20. They do jump on Corrosive here, but he's able to walk out. Synthesis, again, just trying to put some annoying pressure on until he finishes stacking Shuriken. He's not a huge damage threat. He's more of a frustration until that's done, and he gets Shingon at 13. Gonna push back Boggs here. Misha looking for the stun. They're gonna put a lot of damage here on the Genji, but Synthesis does get away. And, yeah, we also see the Agile Dismount and the extra wound timers, but it looks like our Junkrat is going into more of a trap build. So again, both teams just looking to establish control in their lanes, looking to, you know, put some dominance on the other team. Last game was so incredibly close, I don't think you could say either team is really a favorite in this one. It really comes down to who plays their comp better. If blue team can establish lane control in each lane with their triple frontline comp, it's going to make life frustrating for the red team's composition. But if they can continue to just rotate quickly and just keep pushing the lanes in ways that will eventually cause this team to make a rotational mistake, the blue team, then that's really what red team's looking for here, because they can change lane. You've got the Mind Jump from Junkrat, you've got the E from Genji, you've got E from Corrosive, and of course you got Lucio boosting everyone. So, and they've got a lot of CC from Composite Sand as well. Boggs has to dodge out of the way. A good stun from Misha, but the heal up on Gazlowe there with his laser. Dallying Pig is taking some pressure in the mid lane, but again, Lucio not really a damage person as so much he prevents people from mounting. The attempt there from Corrosive to get the E, but a good sidestep from Dallying Pig. Randy Newman's going to take some damage. He goes with a Jet Propulsion, gets trapped instead. That always feels frustrating. But Blaze does manage to get his Unstoppable on his trait now, as Junkrat pops himself out of trouble. Corrosive takes a look at White Mane, but doesn't know where all her teammates are and doesn't want to get caught in a bad place. As again, both tanks at this point doing more chest thumping than real engaging, although to be fair, Johanna really needs her 10 before she can be a hard engager, so to speak. Both teams are also turning in. They're basically even, I would say, at this point. Composite Santa going to make it difficult. That's another thing Gazlowe can provide. You don't see it from a lot of other characters. He can provide basically AFK delay. Boggs here, they're trying to put some damage here. Boggs finds himself in a tough position. He does get the Unstoppable there. But he's jumped on by the Genji. Indecisive in a tough spot. Managed to walk just far enough. The Mind does not knock her into the enemy team. Magic Master not able to hit a stun there. But during this time, the Red Web Weavers are able to get the red team gets the turn, and the Red Web Weavers are descending. They're going to try and kill Junkrat here. He takes a lot of damage, and they do. The kill comes out from the Blaze, but here comes Corrosive. Huge stun, the Unstoppable onto Blaze, which is why he grabbed that level 1. And the White Mane keeps everyone alive on the side of Frank's Furters as they prepare to defend against Web Weavers. Stop stealing our spider butts, please. Magic Master finding himself in a tough spot here as Corrosive and Randy Newman are putting pressure on him, but again, they don't have a ton of damage on them, and he's got the health pool to get himself out of it. He drops the stun onto Corrosive and drops the Oil Slick and Fire to start ticking down the Web Weaver here. The Web Weaver in the mid has already been taken out. Genji goes deep, but not able to get a kill, so his E won't reset there. Corrosive is almost entirely out of mana. This fight is going to be tricky. He's just autoing to make Dallying Pig's life a little more difficult and distract them from taking care of this web weaver as it takes down the front gate. Sorry, I got a phone call there. So we've got in the bot lane, DJ Coldcuts is going to try and take this camp. And in the mid lane, we see both teams. So blue team is going to start setting up now to try and turn in. Hey, Rossi8, how am I? I get to cast today, so that's always fun. Day off, some casting. It's a great day. Thanks for asking. Misha here causing more distraction. So both sides offlaners do have sort of an AFK element, or not AFK, but they both have an away from body element. We've got the turrets for the Gazelle and the Misha. We see the Cocoon come out onto the white main. Dallying Pig looking to defend his healer here, but they're not going to be able to get her out of there. And without the healer, they're going to take a lot more damage. Misha dies now. DJ Coldcuts and Boggs trying to do damage from the back, but out comes the Riptire, and it's going to push members away. Magic Master Suns from the top, trying to put pressure onto Gazelle and Randy Newman as Genji has had to back out here. Lucio had kind of jumped forward to try and find, chase down a kill, but was not able to find one, and now he has to pop back to his team. Blue Web Weavers are down, but again, being down their white main means there's going to be an easier time clearing this than they would have had prior, had they not won that fight. Genji is now fully stacked, meaning he does have burst damage. Now, once he hits 13 against the Shingon, he will be very dangerous to the backliners. On the side, and again, there's only two backliners, and Raynor isn't the squishiest backliner, so. And here we see we've got them pushing with the top lane, but it might not even get very much of the gate. The defense here is looking very good from the members of Heavy Greg. Well, it's not my game rules, Greg. I'm casting an NGS match. If you're curious what NGS is, they have a website, and I do have a command, !NGS. Web Weavers are gone. Mid lane, we see 4 here for the blue team and 3 for the red team. Gazlo and Genji turning in here. Both teams will now need 55 to get the spider support. And Genji's going to try to be annoying to Boggs, gets knocked back by the Q. Nisha again trying to be as annoying as possible on that rotate. DJ Coldcuts has 23 gems, so he's going to be very careful not to die here. We see a large gathering characters up here, which where there's smoke, there's fire. Curious if we'll see a fight here. Magic Master walks into Corrosive there, face checks, but again, Blaze is a character that can normally get away with that, especially with the Unstoppable on his trait. There's the stun. They put a lot of damage. A great high five there from Randy Newman. And they're going to pop out. There's the big ultimate from Gazelle. They jump on Boggs as White Mane is caught. He goes down, and now White Mane is also alone. These Gazelle ults have been fantastic. The Magic Master is causing a lot of chaos in the back. Compensate is going to go down, and Synthesis is very low as Lucio has also had to back out. Corrosive is all alone, but he is able to get out. The Red Web Weavers are descending, but it seems like whichever team gets the, whatever team gets the Web Weavers also loses a member before the push starts. Although I guess that was a 1-for-1 as Boggs was killed by that Genji's X-Strike. So we're going to see Web Weavers in all the lanes. DJ Coldcuts looking to use Misha to control it here and also scout out. And yes, he sees that the enemy team has sent 2. Genji is pushed off of the mid Web Weaver as they clear that out. Although Dallying Pig is being looked at by Corrosive, they know they can't do much against that Iron Skin. The 3 tankiest members of our blue team are in the top lane now, and so is Indecisive as Raynor is clearing the bot alone. The gate, it will go down to the spiders, but it looks like that's about it for the moment. It's a 5 versus 4 in the top lane. They use the ult again, and White Mane is caught in position there. Out comes the Riptire. McMaster's getting very low as Joanna is cocooned here. Indecisive, trying to sidestep all the CC. They're trying to throw her direction, but she gets hit by Corrosive's Burrow Charge. She's at 200 health. Genji jumps on her. White Mane is dead. Misha is dead. Magic Master looks like he'll also go down as he's booped back by the Lucio, and he goes down also. And that is a 2.5 for nothing from the members of Heavy Greg. They're going to get the top fort. They already got the bottom fort. And they're starting to put themselves in a lead in this fight. And they're looking for the boss now. Death timers aren't particularly long, but trying to prevent this would be very dangerous for the members of Frank's Furters. So they're not going to rotate this direction yet. This isn't a particularly fast take for these members, but they know it's safe. Joe is looking. She has 39 gems, though. It would be very dangerous to die now. Boss is captured. Misha does get stunned. No! Let the cruelty to animals end. Misha is dead. That takes a lot of power out of the hands of Rhaegar, as he did take the Misha ultimate. Bestial Wrath, I believe? Yes. So, he now has to wait for Misha to return before he can even use his ultimate. So, we see a Hyperion Blessed Shield, Divine Reckoning. The boss is being defended, as only 4 are pushing with it, as we see Gazlowe is in the mid lane there. The Bob pops Magic Master out, but he's not necessarily upset with that. They're trying to step out, see if they can get a kill. They jump on Synthesis, but he manages to E out. And so we've got this boss taking down the gate on the top keep, but it will go down before it puts any damage on the top keep. So they're looking to return their coins now, or their spider butts. They do have enough to get the full Web Weaver phase now. And they do have every lane pushing. So they're now in a pretty good place, unless they lose a character here at this turn-in. Again, we see pretty ordinary alts. We have seen the Gravel Bomb, the X-Strike, Riptire, Cocoon, and High Five. And we've seen some really good high fives out of Randy Newman. And I have to say it that way because Randy Newman's over here. So thanks, guys, for making your names hard to say. But here we go. Out comes the bomb, trying to force people into different positions. The Web Weavers have dropped. Rexar's on the bottom, clearing that Web Weaver. So there's 4 defending mid. It's a 4v5 in Web Weaver. Out comes the Hyperion, trying to force more. A good grab there by Dallying Pig. She's not. Another great grab bomb. Boggs gets caught. They have to walk backward. Whitemane's in a bad position and is killed by the Riptire. Dallying Pig is incredibly low and is killed by Lucio jumping in, as well as an auto from Randy Newman. They're going to get this mid fort, and they are well ahead. Misha coming in to see if they can grab something, but they might even get the gate. Damage is going on to the top keep now from this Web Weaver as Blaze goes to respond. This one is still far away and will go down on its own. They're going to lose their mid gate as well, and this keep is now in danger. So after losing game 1, the members of Heavy Greg looking to come back and force this into a 3-game series. A 28-minute game 1, may I reiterate. Magic Master is popped out, but they don't look to jump on him as they do back out after taking the mid keep. And this is where things start to get into your head. After you've won game 1, you really don't want to give up game 2 because that thought about reverse sweep creeps into your head. So the blue team is going to have to reset their mindset, try to get some kills here. But another Gravel Bomb comes out. They are going to be able to kill Whitemane if they focus on her. The bomb comes out as they try to capture this camp, and they get it. They're still all at full health. Magic Master is getting really low. He has to drop Bunker as Johanna is in the cocoon. Misha dies. There goes Rexar. Whitemane goes down. The bomb takes out Blaze. Boggs is getting incredibly low as Dallying Pig walks out, but Boggs is dead, and he loses so many gems. It is a 4.5 for none, and they are looking to end this game. What an incredible fight from the members of Heavy Greg. In the last game, Frank's Furters showed some incredible team fight acumen, but in this game, it's the shoe's been on the other foot as they've used this Gazlowe's Gravel Bomb stun to blow up Whitemane again and again as she has to stand still to use her healing beam. And while this may not be the most standard comp in the world, they've used it to incredible, just incredible, I'm losing words. But they've used it very well. It's given them the win. This series is now tied 1-1. As this game goes to Heavy Greg. GG. We'll take a quick look at the summary here. So, the kills are 11-3 for the members of Heavy Greg. And this Gazlowe play, Composite Santa Gazlowe, so good. Just played so well. And a huge amount of healing from Randy Newman as well. The Genji, again, played also excellent. Just excellent play by the Genji, being patient in the early game when his damage isn't that high, but once he had the ability for Shingon and the fully stacked Shuriken Mastery, just putting tons of burst surprise damage on the backline of Frank's Furters. And they weren't really able, this game started to snowball, and then there was that one big fight where Heavy Greg won it, and then they took the boss, and then they got a second turn in, and they just never let go of the game control from there. Now we're seeing fairly standard. We got Trap Build Junkrat. We've got Beetle builds with Epicenter and Nubarak. And this is a pretty good team comp too, but I thought the Gazlo is an answer into this white main who stands still to use her, not the Searing Lash, her W ability, which I am not recalling, but um, it just was really intelligent. Every time he dropped a Grabo Bomb, Whitemane was included in it, and usually Raynor was near her. So it usually was at least a two-man Grabo Bomb into a stun, and Blaze already had dropped Bunker up in the front line, so they couldn't even be protected. Excellent, excellent play of the Wombo combo potential from the team, and again, they never let this composition have full control, and that's how they won this game. So we are going to pop onto the map best of 3 screen while we pull up the third replay. And we see where game number 3 will be. We're going to be going to Infernal Shrines, ladies and gentlemen. So another big team fight map. So a map to get excited about. So once again, we will get the replay loaded up. We will go over the draft quickly. And then we'll go in and see who can take this now best of 1 series, as it's all to play for in game number 3 between Frank's Furters and Heavy Greg. Right, so we're here on Infernal Shrines. So Infernal Shrines, you kill minions on a shrine, ostensibly, to summon a Punisher, a demonic Punisher, they generally look like. And then they will push against your opponent's team. And from there, there's 3 different kinds of Punishers. You've got Molten, which lobs bombs. You've got Frozen, which locks down buildings, and it's considered the most useful kind because it prevents buildings from firing, letting you dive and get more damage on the buildings. And then you've got Arcane, which has lasers that do damage. So again, this often tends to be a team fighting map, as teams will compete to see who can get the minions. And normally, if you can get there first and get a lead, it makes it easier. Where even if you lose a fight, if you have anyone left who can poke out some minions, you can still win the Punisher. So I'm looking forward to seeing more team fights out of these 2 teams. So now that we know where we'll be, let's bring you guys back in game here and talk about these drafts. Frank's Furters has drafted Johanna, Raynor, Deckard, Dahaka, and Kael'thas. So a more standard pick. The first time this series they haven't gone with the triple frontline. Dahaka, still probably the best offlaner in the game. Global pressure, one of the longest stuns with his drag in the game. That's not an ultimate. So excellent value here. And Cold Cuts has looked really good in the offlane role in this series. Dowling Pigs Johanna was decent. Boggs' Raynor has been very good. We haven't seen Magic Master on damage yet, so we'll see how his mage looks. And this is the 3rd different support we've seen in decisive play. And Deckard can be incredibly strong on this map because he can put potions and arrows, he can set them up beforehand, meaning he doesn't have to put himself in danger's way. So very strong on this map. And in fact, I've seen fights on this map at 20 where Deckard has died, but because he took bottomless potion, his team can actually win a team fight when their healer's dead because the potions continue to refill. So it's like he's there even after he gets killed, which is nice. On the far side, we're going to see a composition that includes Gazlo again, Malthael, Chromie, Tyrande, and a Nubarak. So again, this Gazlo comes out again looking very good last time. And on an area where you fight in a fairly tight area, the Gravel might look very, very good again. I believe Chim Chim is on his 3rd different offlaner in this series, so we'll see how his Malthael looks. And Randy Newman has looked really good on range damage, so Chromie is probably the best mage available for play right now. Tyrande can follow up the Anubrak stuns, so both these teams actually have very strong compositions. So from Frank's Furters, they're going to be trying really hard not to get reverse swept. They want to win this map and use the Dahaka to get more control on a somewhat immobile backline between Chromie, Tyrande, and Gazlo. No inherent abilities to escape. And on the side of Heavy Greg, they want this reverse sweep. They lost game one, they came back with a really strong game two, and they could have won game one too. It was neck and neck. They're looking to get the reverse sweep and come out of this walking up the standings. So without further ado, let's introduce our teams and get game three rolling. In the blue trunks, we have the team Frank's Furters. Dallying Pig is playing Johanna, Boggs is on Rainer, Indecisive playing Decker, DJ Coldcuts is on Dahaka, and Kalthus played by Magic Master as they're spraying. I can hear it. They're having fun. I like their coordinated clouds too. On the far side, we've got Gazel played by Composite Santa for the second time. Chim Chim is 19 is playing Malthiel. Randy Newman is on Chromie. Randy Newman is on Tyrande. And Anubrak is being played by Corrosive. As out comes the Owl as it gets the first damage of the game. We see Laws of Hope again from Johanna. The Ace in the Hole from Rainer. We've got the Field Study giving cooldown to the Deckard. Oh, Spell Power, pardon me. We got Race Car Dahaka, Convection Kael'thas. Now, I often find that the reward isn't even worth it, never mind the risk, but apparently Magic Master has something he wants from Convection in a Game 3. A lot of damage on the Rainer there from the Chromie. Here comes the stun, but it misses Dallying Pig. Composite Santa getting health back. He's so low as Dallying Pig has to back up to avoid dying to the burst of this Chromie. And a good time trap here that can really mess up rotations. On the far side, we have again the Explodium Bomb build from, or Explodium Charge build from Gazlowe. We've got the Fear the Reaper from Malthiel, and Malthiel can really make Dahaka's life frustrating, and Chim Chim is already proving that he can be a huge pain in the butt there. We're going to see a fight here, and Corrosive's Anubrak goes down. Composite Santa trying to prevent that with his point control here, but Corrosive will go down, and that will give Frank's Furters the ability to safely take their camp without worrying, as on the other side, Heavy Greg will take their camp as well. So Tyrande is an interesting character, and she trades off some of her healing potential for damage potential. So she's a little more aggressive than some other healers. She still has the ability to heal, but if you interrupt her auto-attacking, her healing potential goes down drastically, as being able to auto-attack is what gives her cooldown on her healing ability. So blinds can slow her down, but really, if you can force her to continue moving and not auto-attack, you can really cut down her ability to heal. She's going Owl build. We got Vision build from Chromie, which is very strong and has recently been buffed. Again, good time trap there. They got to control their Dallying Pig, trying to blind. Magic Master is at below half health here. Dallying Pig are hitting Composite Santa. They're upset with what the Gazlowe did last game. They're chasing him down. He's very low. There's the Condemn. Boggs, though, goes down to the Chromie, and they can't kill Composite Santa here. Kalthus was too low and had to stay back and wasn't able to contribute very much to that fight at first. Malthiel able to take this camp on his own because he out-pressured Dahaka in the top. He's going to clear mid now. And in the bottom, the red team, because of the kill that they got on Rainer, can take this camp without worrying too much about being invaded. Now here does come the Scroll of Seeing. The time trap is going to lock 2-1, so the numbers advantage again. A big flame strike there from Kalthus. Dallying Pig is still attempting to capture this. And in comes DJ Coldcuts. Dallying Pig will go down, but DJ Coldcuts is very tanky, and they're going to try and get this kill here as Malthiel pushes in the top. Another time trap makes it more difficult for the blue team to capture. Boggs is getting very low again. Is he going to die again? No. DJ Coldcuts blocks the Sandblasts from Chromie, and Boggs is able to live as they do capture that camp. But they're losing their top gate in trade for a siege camp that will be taken out easily by Chromie. That's one of those times where you sometimes have to ask yourself, I can do it, but should I? But it does give them power here in the early game, although Johanna has gone top. There's the stun onto Magic Master. He's taking so much damage. He's so far up. Is he going to go down? He's at 200 health now. Corrosive is forced to back off from the pressure of Dahaka. The stun is put on Dahaka, and then the laser. Gazlowe is pulled out, but there's no one there to do damage as he's pulled back, as both the damage dealers had to tap. And now the lead in minions is going over to Heavy Greg. More Cranwy damage pops out from a safe distance. Corrosive is getting incredibly low. Boggs is focusing on him. He's at 200 health now. They're at 22-11, 24-11 in minions here. DJ Coldcut's pushing forward. Corrosive very low, looking to get the healing from Randy Newman. on the Tyrande. And Gazlo, this is another map where Gazlo is good at taking the objective. DJ Coldcuts is pushing in here. The ceiling scroll, they managed to step out of the way. DJ's taking a lot of damage from the Tyrande, but they're all grouped up. Boggs getting all sorts of value here, but Dahaka goes down, and that is going to be it. He was causing most of the distraction here. The rest of the team is forced to scatter to not take more Chromie damage as the first Punisher, which is a Mortar Punisher, goes over to the members of Heavy Greg and will push into the bot lane. So the first jump comes out at about 4:45, meaning the next jump will come out right around 5 minutes. It's about 15 minutes between jumps. This gate will go down to the vicious attack of the members of Heavy Greg here, but this Mortar Punisher is going down fairly quickly. They'll probably get this keep down to about half. A good pull in from Dallying Pig there, but the time trap is coming out. She pops the Iron Skin and is not forced to get caught in more Chromie damage. But yes, this fort is at about half health, and both teams are going to take a moment to take a breath, reset, and see what they can do for the red team to keep their advantage over the blue team to flip that advantage to their side, as they're almost a full level behind the members of Heavy Greg. And pre-ultimate, that's incredibly, incredibly important. So we're seeing the Die Alone and the Cold Hand from Malthael, making him a better duelist, which is going to make Dahaka's life even more difficult. You see Dahaka afraid to even come out in the lane. The playmaking available from Malthael when you're a not that high damage bruiser is very frustrating, which is going to give Malthael the freedom to rotate to the bottom, or to the mid lane, pardon me. Now the blue team just looking to soak, wanting to catch up in experience. They want to make sure that they get to 10 before the next. The jump onto Malthael comes out immediately, though. He's walking out, and again, he will not get. He blows up from Chromie, loses all his convection stacks. He's back to 0. Malthael is killed in return. But 10s have come out for the members of Heavy Greg right now. We're going to see Gravabomb again, which was so strong last game. The Last Rites, the Starfall from Tyrande, and we've not yet seen the Corrosives, but if he went Bug Locust, I would be shocked. So it is in fact Cocoon, as the members of the blue team are now going out to soak so they can hit 10 soon early. Indecisive is all alone here. He gets the temporal loop, he gets the stun from Tyrande. He's going to go down. He was left all alone in the mid lane as the rest of the team went to soak, and Deckard is dead. It's like Diablo 3 all over again, guys. Deckard's dead. Spoilers for a game that's 10 years old plus. Cocoon comes out on Johanna just to kind of prevent any kind of follow-up kill. But now there's 2 forts that are, well, 2/3 health and half health here in the bottom as the red team continues to apply pressure all over the map. They've really got their mojo back after winning game 2. So, with that pressure, Malthael is basically able to clear this top camp for free. These dogs will now go down fairly quickly. The red team is now taking their bruiser camp in return. So 10s have come out also. Heroic abilities have come out for the members of Frankfurter. We've got Blessed Shield, Hyperion, Stay a While and Listen, Isolation, and Pyroblast. But honestly, I don't know who you Pyroblast on the enemy team. Malthael could be killed. Tyrande could be killed. But at 13, Chromie already has timeout. She can be in stasis for 5 seconds. You're not killing her with a Pyroblast, not unless she's already been forced to use stasis. So I feel like Phoenix could have been used to maybe steal a couple of minions here. But then again, Magic Master is also a better player of this game than me, so I trust his decision-making. Gazlo is clearing the bot. Dahaka is being forced to clear the top here, but they are going to engage, this time on a Frozen Shrine, the most valuable type of Punisher. Red team currently has the positional advantage, but blue team is just walking in without fear. The grab onto Corrosive, a lower health tank is what a noob is, but Cold Cut takes so much damage. Here comes the Grab-A-Bomb. It pulls Indecisive in, but they're not able to follow up on it. Starfall comes out, they're doing so much damage. Stay a while and Listen does come out, which means Gazlo is dead, but in return, the Last Rites pops onto Diablo, and he goes down also. This is forcing the blue team to back off as they're not able to get damage on the targets they want to. This is one of the reasons we often don't see Kael'thas picked in higher level games, is his range is so short and his ability to escape is so poor that if you don't hit your E, you basically have to walk out now. Dowling Pig, they are going to grab the Malthael there as the Chromie went to push their camp into the top, and they're going to get this fort. It's basically gone already because Blue has sent no one to stop it. Magic Master is still supporting his team. There's a lot of damage going out again. Boggs is getting a lot of value out of this Rainer. DJ Coldcuts digs back in, but Competent Santa's back as well. They get the Frozen Punisher. There's the stun onto Kale Thus. Coldcuts is low. He goes down. He's dead. Dallying Pig is here, and he's trying to prevent any further jump. The jump is onto Indecisive. Desperate Kane is all alone, and now Heavy Greg is focusing on him, but they're not able to get the stun there. He is stunned again. The jump will be coming out shortly from this Punisher. Yeah, actually, time trap. That's true as well. So the jump is onto Dallying Pig. Now, the Cocoon does come out onto Rainer. He's in an awkward position as the fort goes down. The time trap is now, oh my goodness, a perfect Grava Bomb that kills him also. Dallying Pig gets jumped on. Thankfully for him, there's not a lot of damage that can go past this gate. But here comes the freeze. They have to walk around it. They're going to lose the keep gate here. And this game is spiraling out of control for the members of Frank's Furters. After a very strong game 1 and a decently strong game 2, I don't know if they're struggling with their confidence after losing game 2 and being afraid of this sweep, but this Gazel really seems to have rattled them as a team comp. He's getting just one great Grava Bomb after another. The Tyrande getting one stun after another, and they're going to have to take a breath and regroup and find a fight they want to win because they are 2 full levels behind. Dallying Pig pulling on Chim Chim, but he pops his Unstoppable and walks out of there, as he did take the inevitable end at 13 to make him unstoppable. And this team will hit 16 first. They do have a siege camp pushing towards mid. That'll have to be dealt with, or they will lose this 1/3 health fort. Corrosive is looking at DJ Coldcuts here. He's in vision. He has to back out if he doesn't want to die, and he understands that also. He backs out immediately and gives the camp over to Heavy Greg. So another siege camp is pushing into mid as blue team responds to that. And the red team is going to take out the final fort on the side of Frank's Furters. Getting a little desperate. They are level 14 on the sides of Frank's Furters, and their opponent team is at 16, and they are rotating up. The vision on this camp was had by Chim Chim. No, they're going to push for the keep in the bottom lane. There's 4 members here. They're backing, and that owl, I believe, was designed to stop backing. It did just miss, but this keep is going to take a chunk of damage from the siege here. All ultimates are up for both sides. The Haka does come in, looks for a grab, but a good Q there from Corrosive. They're looking for the follow, but there's not really an easy way to chase down the members of this team. Gaza would be the most gankable, but some really good peel there from Corrosive made it impossible. And again, the members of the team are playing this so calmly, so smartly, so carefully. They're not letting themselves be caught in a mistake. When they're not confident they'll win the fight right away, they just back out. But the blue team now is insisting on this fight, even being down a talent tier. The Cocoon does go out into Johanna, but again, it's just walk-away time for Heavy Greg. Heavy Greg getting his exercise, lots of walking. They walk out, they wait for the advantage to be on their side again. Very patient and a very confident way to play the game. They're not trying to force anything. They're not trying to... they're not using their level advantage as a reason to get cocky or aggressive. They're being patient. They're playing slow. They're waiting for the other team to be desperate, because desperate teams make mistakes. And now they have a push in all 3 lanes, which has to be answered. Otherwise, they'll lose a keep, which means they can't send all 5 to the mid unless they're willing to give up a keep. But they're going to lose a keep anyway to a Punisher. It's a no-win situation for the members of Frank's Furters here, but they're going to have to decide and decide quick. If they can win a fight, out comes Hyperion. Dallying Pig walks in, and I mean, the members of Red Team just back out. Now, 16 has been gotten as a talent for the members of the Blue Team. Coldcut goes for a tongue, but he takes a lot of damage in return and has to pop his passive. Dallying Pig. Here comes the Grava Bomb, and for the first time, it hits nothing. Maltheo pops his Unstoppable and throws another E into the opposing team. Dahaka has been cocooned, A lot of abilities coming out, not a lot of damage coming out though. His stun comes out again. Boggs, a ton of damage going onto Gazla when he is targeted by the Pyroblast, but DJ Coconuts is getting very, very low. Stale Islandson is popped. Malthael is stuck there. Boggs blown away by the Chromie, and so is Johanna. And they had a character disadvantage, but now they're largely in an advantage. DJ Coconuts trying to save his friend Magic Master, but he will go down. Corrosive just waiting for his cooldowns to come back up to see whether he kills Indecisive or Magic Master. Randy Newman misses some stuns. A great stun there by Randy Newman on the Tyrande, though, which gives Corrosive the opportunity to get his E in, and they kill. It's a 4-for-1 on the side of Heavy Greg, and they have turned this incredible series to their side. They might get this keep or most of it before the Punisher's even on it. It is up to Kael'thas to defend, although in 2 seconds, both Johanna and Raynor will be up, which will give them a better opportunity. There's the stun onto Magic Master, and he's blown up. Boggs takes so much damage from the Dragon's Breath. He's at a quarter health. He's at half health. He's at 1/4 health, though. He has to back off. They're looking to finish the game. They're looking for the reverse sweep. Out comes the Blessed Shield. The desperation play from Johanna, but she takes the last right. She goes down, but so does Malthael. Raynor's forced back into the Hall of Storms again as the Haka gets cocooned. The jump is onto the Haka, and they're going to try and follow this up. DJ Coconuts at half health. Boggs walking in, unafraid, but 20s have been gained for the members of Heavy Greg. The Punisher is taking the keep down to 30%. Sorry, 40%, but now it's down to 30%. Blue team is fighting it off. They're getting so much of the stun of DJ Coconuts. The follow-up stun from Tyrande. Indecisive is super low. The Immortal the Arcane Punisher kills it, and GG! Game number 3 goes to the members of Heavy Greg. They pull off the reverse sweep and defeat Frank's Furters after losing Game 1. What a series, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if I had the opportunity for an interview after this game, I would ask about the choice to bring in Composite Santa, who's apparently a Gazla one-trick, at least in this series, and he played this character incredibly. They had an amazing Game 3 setup with Chromie, Anubrak, and Randy Newman's Tyrande looked really good. His stuns were on point. Every time there was CC, whether it was from the Punisher, from Gazlo, from Anubrak, even the Chromie Temporal Loop, Randy Newman's Tyrande looked incredible in this game, and it seems like ever since Game 1, the flow, the confidence, the pressure, it feels like the red team built and built and built, and Frank's Furters were just trying to stay in the games after Game 1. They had a really good Game 1 where they made some good decisions. Raynor finished it off in what could have been anyone's game. In Game 2, it was also fairly close, but it just started to push against them. In Game 3, it seems like they had just run out of steam. You see in the kill count, 16-5, and a big, big Game 3 win for the members of Heavy Greg, giving them the game and the series. Thank you so much for joining me. GG's to both these teams. What an awesome series. The VODs will be available on Twitch for 7 days, and they will also be available on YouTube after that, at Ohmster. Thank you so much for joining me. I've been Ohmster. I thank you so much to these teams for playing an incredibly entertaining series. Go enjoy yourself some HOTS, guys.